Hello, my name is Dr. Koheli Bhattacharya and welcome to my channel. Today we have a beautiful video which is called How to be Brilliant. Why? Because it is something that Dr. Alan Watkins teaches. He has two TED Talks. The TED Talks are about 10 years old and about 45 minutes long, and they are titled Being Brilliant Every Single Day. Now these were thoughts from his book called Coherence, which has the title Science of Exceptional Leadership and Performance. Now, who doesn't want to be an exceptional leader or a performer, right? So this video is how to be more productive in life, how to be brilliant. So let's get into it. So, Dr. Alan Watkins says, now, who would you say is a brilliant person, okay? Someone who has brilliant results, someone who does brilliantly in their exams, does brilliantly in the sports, has exceptional results in their surgeries, has exceptional results in their dealings with people or their communication or in their business dealings, who have brilliant results. So, what do the results in our life depend on? Our results depend on our performance. Now, what does performance depend on? So, on a daily basis, you are performing well, right? So, you are performing, say you're a cricket player and you're performing well, but when it really matters, on the days when it's a tough match, on the days when there is a big business deal, and that day when you can perform really well and get the results, that's when you're brilliant. So performance depends on your actions that you take repetitively every day, and so it depends on the habits that you've built, but it also depends on being able to perform in difficult situations, being comfortable in uncomfortable situations, being able to give or deliver even in the most difficult situations. So we get brilliant results when we perform exceptionally well and continue to do our actions on a daily basis, have great habits which perform. Now, what do our actions depend on? What do our habits depend on? Everyday habits depend on the thoughts that we have. What are the good thoughts that we are having? Hey, I can do this, I can make it, I can, achieve this, I am able to do this. So these kind of positive thoughts is what leads to positive actions. Now, what leads to positive thoughts? Positive thoughts happen when you are in a positive state of mind or in a positive feeling state. So, did thoughts come before feelings or feelings come before thoughts? Now, in the coaching world, in the world of self-development, there is always this tussle between thought leaders and feeling leaders. This is where people think of, is it a top-down mechanism, like your thoughts change your feelings, or is it your feelings change your thoughts? Actually, it's more of a, did the chicken come before the egg or the egg come before the chicken? Both of them matter equally. But say let us take a situation like a glass broke at home. If you are in an already agitated, irritated mood that day, and if a glass breaks at home, you are going to lose your mind. You are going to be screaming at everyone. You are going to be making a big deal out of that glass breaking at home, right? Say you're having a great day and you're having great feelings on that day. You're like happy and you're in this magnanimous mode and you're having a party at home and you're feeling really nice. And at that point of time, a glass falls and a glass breaks. You're like, it's okay, it's just a glass, it happens in life. So you see, like the thoughts that you had about that one thing, that breaking of the glass, you could either think, oh my God, my life is such a mess, now even the glasses are breaking, or you could be, hey, it's okay, it's just a glass. So the thoughts depended on the kind of mood, the kind of feeling you were feeling at that very moment. So feelings are a little more expansive and have a little more dealing over the thoughts that you're going to have. And your thoughts are going to drive the action. Like once you have the thought, oh my God, that glass broke, you are going to either scream or you're going to be magnanimous and move on with your life. The actions, right? So the next thing is, what are feelings and what is the difference between emotions? Now, feelings is the ability to understand your emotions. So emotions are the internal workings of yourself. How do you know what emotions you're feeling is the difference between feeling and emotion. Let me try to explain this better. You are having the emotion of anxiety, like your palms are sweating, you're in an anxious state. If you are unable to understand what is going on inside you, if someone asks you, hi, how are you feeling? You won't be able to really pinpoint what is going on. You won't be able to say, I am feeling anxious, I am feeling scared, I am feeling irritated, or I am feeling nervous. So these words that we give to the feelings, I am feeling nervous, I am feeling anxious, I am feeling, are your feelings. But what is internally happening in your body are your emotions. Like that anxiety, that butterflies, that whole internal working is your emotions. Not many people are able to decipher what emotion is going on inside them. So this difference of being able to feel your feelings and understanding your emotions is very critical. Alright? And the last bit is what drives your emotions. Where are these emotions coming in from? These emotions are coming in from your physiology. Now, what is physiology? Physiology is the beating of your heart. How synchronous is it beating? How fast is it beating? How, haphazardly it is beating? Your breathing patterns. Is it erratic breathing, or are you shallow breathing? Or are you rapidly breathing, or are you deeply and rhythmically breathing? So different physiologies are you. So there is breathing, there is your heart rate, there is your blood flow, there is your blood pressures, there is your gut health, there is the amount of hormones in your body. Are you ovulating? Are you menstruating? Are you do you have a fever? Are you feeling cold? So all of that is the physiology of your body. So if you put a physiological stress on yourself, if you are in fever, if you have if you are tired, so all of that is going to affect the results, right? So this is what Dr. Alan Watkins said. Now I'm going to give you, so he gave a very short way of how we can change the physiology, and he taught us in the TED talk that how we can change it by just breathing differently. So breathing in a rhythmic fashion, that could be 5 breaths, 5 counts in, breathe in, then hold your breath for 5 counts, then breathe out for 5, and then hold for 5. So that's called a box breathing, right? 5 seconds in, 5 hold, 5 out, 5 hold. So that's called a box breathing. Or you can do 4 seconds breathe in, 6 seconds breathe out, 4 seconds breathe in, 6 seconds breathe out. So basically having a rhythm to your breathing will lead to a rhythm in your heart rate. He also said that having a steady flow, like rather than staccato, so having a smooth flow, so rhythm and smoothness. And the last thing he spoke about was breathing through your heart, or heart coherence. I'm going to take it a little bit deeper and give you a little more tips on how you can be brilliant. So the first thing is your physiology. We already spoke about breathing, right? But I'm going to tell you my favorite way of controlling my physiology, and that is called nervous system regulation. How do you nervous system regulate yourself? It is by vagus nerve conditioning exercises. So your vagus nerve has connections to your heart, to your lung, to your kidneys, to your intestines, to your digestive system, and most of it is in the afferent, meaning they are sending signals from the body to the brain. But you can also have signals going from the brain to your body. So understanding your vagus nerve and working with that really helps. So the first thing I would say is vagus nerve conditioning, which I teach inside my Ready to Realign workshop. The second thing is working with your hormonal cycles for women especially, that is your what is happening during ovulation, what is happening during follicular phase, what is happening during periods. So you can work along with your hormones rather than against. So these are the 2 tips I would give for your physiology. One is working with your vagus nerve, and the next thing is working with your hormones. Next, we move into emotions. So all this physiology affects the way the body works. And how does it work? It works along with the nervous system, along with your spine. So your spine, and also it works along with your hormones. Hormones also send signals. So your hormones and your nervous system are responsible for your emotions, and they rest in 7 different regions of your body, which is also called chakras. Both Dr. Alan Watkins and almost every person who's spoken about emotions accepts that there are these 7 centers in your body which hold the key to your emotions, hold the key to activating or keeping energy in motion, and that is your chakras. So my favorite way of working with my emotions is through the chakras. Each chakra has one emotion which increases your, or is in overaction, or your chakra is either blocked or underactive. So working with your chakras helps you balance your emotions. The next thing is feelings, right? So the way to do it is by doing your feelings is what I like to call it. So you can do this by using a feeling wheel. So you have a feeling wheel and it has all the different names of the feelings, and you go through it and you actually name your feeling. So that is called a feeling wheel. So you can get these are all the different things that you can use in your body, right? Which you can use to become brilliant. So feeling wheel. Now the next thing is thoughts. So how do you manage your thoughts? Rather than living on autopilot, where your feelings are just happening and you're just reacting to your feelings, reacting to them, you take radical responsibility of what you're feeling and how you're going to think about what those feelings are. So the first step to managing your thoughts is going from autopilot to a more mindful state of mind. Taking the controls from the autopilot of your body and going from a reactive state to a responsive state, that I'm going to respond to it the way I want to respond and not the way my Neanderthal, my caveman mentality has always taught me. So you move out from your survival state into a thriving state and go from reaction to responsive. I have 2 YouTube videos on this. One is called Radical Responsibility and the second is How to Not Live in Fear. So those 2 I will link in the caption below. So the thing to do is be more mindful, do your thought work. So doing thought work, one of my favorite ways to do thought work would be the model, which is taught by the Life Coach School or any kind of coaching school. You can do affirmations, you can also write your thoughts every day. So the way to do it is think better thoughts. And how do you think better thoughts is repeat better thoughts, live more mindfully, decide. So you decide what you're going to think, you get to decide what and how you're going to think. Yes, the glass broke. What are those thoughts about yourself? I'm still a good person, I'm still a good host, I can still buy new glasses. That glass anyway had to go. That was, I'm going to anyway buy new glasses. It was just one glass. There are so many great thoughts that you can think. So you live intentionally. So living intentionally and mindfully. So you get to live intentionally. The next thing is, how do you do that? The next thing is actions. Now for actions, you live via habits. You make your life so in tune with good habits. So every day you are doing vagus nerve conditioning. Every day you're doing your breath work. Every day you're doing your chakras. Every day you're doing your feeling wheel. Every day you're doing your thought work. Every day you're living mindfully. Every day you're doing your journaling. Every moment you are deciding how you're going to live. That is your quantum living, right? You are every single moment that you're living, you are living in the present moment and you're deciding for yourself, am I going to do X or am I going to do Y? Am I going to do this or am I going to do that? So every moment you're living in a decision. So that is your habit of living intentionally. Intentional living. Okay. And then finally, all of this is going to lead you to be able to perform under any circumstance, and that lets you be a brilliant person all the time. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Yes, I teach vagus nerve, hormones, chakras. Chakras I teach inside awakening, the feminine rising. We do the feeling wheel also inside the feminine awakening, the feminine rising. We do a lot of thought work, a lot of decision making inside my quantum living workshop, inside my one-on-one coaching. And yes, I hope you got a lot out of this video. Go take a snapshot of this. What can you bring? How can you change your lifestyle to get 1% more brilliant today? Thank you for watching. This is Dr. Coherence.